Everyone thought this house was empty.
I stopped going outside so no one would notice me.
No one should have to disappear just to survive. When do you usually come out here?
At night, when the street is quiet, only God sees me then.
I didn't realize anyone was still living here until I heard the door creak open behind the vines in the overgrowth. Because from the street, this place looked abandoned in every way that matters. The yard swallowed by weeds, trees leaning like they had given up, windows dulled by years of dust and silence, and neighbors who had long stopped wondering who this house belonged to. He was standing there quietly, an old man with a thin frame bent forward, one hand wrapped tightly around a worn wooden cane, the other gripping the doorframe as if the house itself was the only thing still holding him upright. He told me he never leaves during the day anymore, not because he doesn't want to see people, but because he doesn't want people to see him like this, slow, shaking, struggling to cross his own yard without fear of falling where no one would notice. He lives alone now, surviving on a small check that barely covers medicine and utilities, choosing every month between heat and pain relief, between food and keeping the lights on. The yard grew wild, not because he stopped caring, but because caring takes strength, and strength left him quietly years ago. Said the city had posted notices before, warnings that the property was becoming a problem. And every time he peeled one off the door, it felt like proof that the world knew. The house existed but didn't know he did. At night, he sleeps lightly, listening for sounds, not out of fear of thieves, but because if something happens, there will be no one to find him until the smell tells the story for him. He admitted he waits until the street is empty before stepping outside, timing his movements around the moments when no one is watching, because dignity is the last thing he feels he can still protect. As we started clearing the yard, cutting back years of neglect, he stood there leaning on his cane eyes, fixed on the ground, whispering that he never asked God for much, just enough strength to wake up again the next morning. And standing there, surrounded by weeds taller than his memories, I realized this wasn't just about a yard or a house. It was about a man who had been praying in silence, unseen, unheard, trusting that even if the world passed him by, God still knew exactly where he was. If you believe God sees the ones everyone else forgets, type amen in the comments, and don't let this story end in silence.